All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive deep, and I mean deep, into our water to talk about a substance that's totally invisible but has this huge, powerful impact on the health of our environment.
So let me just start by asking you a question. What invisible element, one that's literally essential for life, can also become a pollutant so powerful it can create these vast underwater deserts, places we call dead zones?
And the answer, the star of our show today, is nitrogen. Yep, the very same element that makes up most of the air we're breathing right now. But when it gets into our water, well, that's a completely different story. So let's get into it. Okay, so before we can understand why nitrogen can be so harmful, we first have to get a handle on what we even mean when we say total nitrogen. You know, in the world of water quality, total nitrogen, or TN for short, is the big one. It's the go-to metric. Think of it as a total head count of every single bit of nitrogen in a water sample. It's a supercritical indicator of just how polluted a body of water might be. Now, to really get total nitrogen, you have to know it's not just one thing. It's actually more like a family of compounds. In wastewater, it starts out as organic nitrogen, then bacteria get to work and break that down into ammonia, which is really toxic to fish. From there, it has this brief, unstable phase as nitrite, before it finally turns into its stable form, nitrate. And it's this nitrate that's the final boss that treatment plants have to defeat.
So how do labs get that total head count? Well, they actually run two different tests. The first is for something called total Kjeldahl Nitrogen, or TKN, which measures the original organic stuff plus that toxic ammonia. The second test gets the nitrate and nitrite. Then you just add the two results together, and boom, that's your total nitrogen. It gives you the complete picture.
So that's the chemistry. But how does a simple number on a lab report lead to massive environmental problems? Okay, let's look at the real-world impact.
This right here, this is the heart of the problem. It's a devastating chain reaction. See, when there's too much nitrogen in the water, it acts like a super fertilizer for algae, causing this massive explosive growth called an algal bloom. But when all that algae eventually dies and sinks, bacteria show up for a feast. And as they decompose all that dead algae, they suck up all the available oxygen in the water. And the end result of that feeding frenzy is this: 0 milligrams per liter of dissolved oxygen. The water becomes what's called anoxic. It's now officially a dead zone, a place where fish, crabs, you name it, literally can't breathe. They either have to get out of there fast or they die. It's that simple.
And the damage, believe it or not, doesn't stop there. Like we mentioned, ammonia itself is just straight up toxic to fish. If high levels of nitrate get into drinking water, it can cause a really serious condition in infants known as blue baby syndrome. And on an even bigger scale, these compounds contribute to acid rain, which harms our soils and lakes. It's a threat on multiple fronts.
Okay, so that's the problem, and it's a huge one. But what if the best solution wasn't some harsh chemical, but life itself? Well, it turns out scientists and engineers have figured out this incredibly clever way to use biology to fight back. And the hero of our story is a process called biological nutrient removal, or BNR for short. This is the advanced tech used in modern wastewater plants that's specifically designed to hunt down and remove nitrogen before it ever gets a chance to escape into our waterways.
The absolute genius of BNR is that it creates two totally different environments to get two different types of bacteria to do all the work. First, you have an aerobic zone, which is pumped full of oxygen. Right next to it, you have an anoxic zone, which has 0 dissolved oxygen. This whole two-zone strategy, well, it's the key to everything.
And here's the elegant 1-2 punch. In that oxygen-rich aerobic zone, one team of bacteria gets to work converting toxic ammonia into the much more stable nitrate. We call that nitrification. Then the water flows into the oxygen-free anoxic zone. And here, a different team of bacteria takes over. They see that nitrate and they break it apart to get the oxygen atoms, releasing harmless nitrogen gas in a process called denitrification.
And that final step, turning a pollutant into a harmless gas, that is the most incredible part of this whole story. It's a total transformation. I mean, this quote just says it all, right? The goal isn't just to trap the pollutant. The goal is to complete the natural nitrogen cycle, to take this harmful compound out of the water and put it right back where it belongs, in the air, where it makes up almost 80% of our atmosphere. It's pretty much the ultimate form of environmental recycling. So the big takeaway here is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound.
We figured out how to use nature's own processes, to use these tiny bacteria as our allies to solve a huge pollution problem that we created. We're using biology to fix a biological problem, and it works beautifully.
It's this amazing invisible process happening right now, working 24/7 to protect our vital waterways. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden science, what other incredible invisible processes are quietly at work right now, keeping your city and your world running?